I ask for the truth on behalf of Christine Irish concerning relationship issues. She got through this hardship financially, emotionally, and well, things turn out okay. What's going on here? Ask in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. Peace, may you blessed be. We'll just get the cards here and we will deal out 3 cards. We'll deal out, the first will be for the past. The next one will be for the present. And then finally the one after that will be for the future. The past and the future, well, they're like a moon phase. The past is about a moon phase behind, so you could say that's about 3 or 4 weeks or so ago, isn't it? Whereas the future is about a moon phase ahead, so that's 3 or 4 weeks or so ahead of us. And of course Christine Irish here with her relationship issue, about slap bang in the middle. Let's establish what's been going on in the situation first of all. We'll pull out the first card. And that'll tell us roughly what's been going on just lately. So we'll just flip it over nice and slowly, not to disturb the energy. And you got the energy of the Empress. The Empress represents, of course, it energises Taurus there. The Empress really, in some decks are depicted as a pregnant woman. The pregnancy symbolises a personal achievement. It doesn't change the world, but it changes her world. A bit like a personal best, you could say. And that's one interpretation. Crow tends to focus here more on the way you understand things, the fact that you've been having to use your intuition. With it being a major arcana card, you've had really I wouldn't say no choice, but certainly you've had no power to change it. It's been a bit of a permanent fixture. You've sort of had no choice but to use your intuition. You've nevertheless had choices what to do or what conclusions you come to and what you do about that. You've still got those choices, of course you have. We always have a choice. That's the freedom Spirit gives you, but nevertheless, you've been stuck in this situation where we've got Jaguar. Jaguar obviously is a 4-legged spirit, and then the 4-legged ones, they walk the earth, so they protect, don't they? And of course, there's been protection, maybe of course through your intuition has protected you in some way, because of the situation that you're in. You've had to protect yourself by, well, an assumption. One must not assume, but certainly that's been a sort of major feature. Crow has help to carry you out of the darkness into the light. Eagle is there to help you listen to your higher self, of course. That's the intuition side, isn't it? Jaguar, of course, also helps you reclaim maybe whatever it is, the moon as well, or a sort of planet there, and maybe indicating introspection behind and in front of you there. I suppose the moth as well, silhouette of the moth, maybe that's in the Hermit, is often seen to be flying toward a flame, and this, of course, the Empress. You could sort of assume that your intuition is trying to help you tune into your higher self as well, and use your higher self to come to any decisions that you have to make. Notice that deer as well, deer, four-legged ones again, protecting yourself by following your instinct, following your instincts and whatever. Jaguar there helping you to reclaim, following your instincts, to reclaim something, listening to your higher self, so that you can maybe get back something that you've lost. What's that about? The foliage there, the earthly effect, maybe the foliage creating growth, maybe of some kind. Notice, of course, with it being Taurus, if Taurus doesn't get what he wants, he can be like a raging bull, and maybe that has had some effect. I don't know. Let's see what's going on now, and let's see what energy vibrates now. We'll just flip this card nice and slow again, not to disturb the energy, and we'll just see what this is all about here. And as you can see there, you've got the energy of the Seven of Swords. 7, any number between 4 and 9, is to do with the element of water, isn't it? As you can see there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you could say the watery part of air, because swords is to do with the element of air, isn't it? This tends to focus more on, I suppose, although 7 itself has weakness, and because there's creative and transmissive powers, you could say mental and moral qualities of creative and transmissive powers. In this particular case, though, there's a weakness of creative and transmissive powers, a weakness of communication. I don't know about a communication breakdown, but certainly communication right now is weak. People aren't talking to one another, but nevertheless, it focuses on the fact that one could cultivate something and create something, get ready for something. I always tend to focus, although he focuses on something prolific as well, something big, nevertheless, that's there. I don't always focus on, when I look at this particular energy, the Seven of Swords. I always tend to think of, although it's weakness in that sense, whether it being to do with cultivation and whatever, I always tend to think of it as a ploughed field. Maybe with the seed sown, I don't know, but nevertheless, a ploughed field, just a ploughed field, offers up a harvest. You can see the harvest that's at the end of it, although it's only just an empty field. Nevertheless, the potential that is there, isn't it? The potential for something big. What is this saying here? that there is a potential maybe for something big in this relationship, but you've had to use your intuition and to help you understand what's really going on. You mentioned the hardship that you were going through, the financial hardship, of course. And preparing something, an empty money box or an empty bank account is one that nevertheless is potentially full if you fill it up. And I suppose it's a similar thing like a relationship. An empty relationship is potentially, how do you know what full is if you don't know what empty is? And maybe just going through this period of emptiness that may be showing you, getting you ready for, well, it doesn't have to be like this. What am I thinking now? I don't know. Let's pull out the next card and let's just see what the immediate future holds between now and this time next month, as we established, and we'll just flip that card nice and slowly and just see what it is. More swords, more the Ten of Swords. Crowley refers to the Ten of Swords as the Lord of Ruin. This, I suppose, is a black and clouded energy, isn't it? Although Gemini, nevertheless, Gemini sort of feel to it with Taurus in your recent past of the Empress, and of course Aquarius there right now. Nevertheless, this sort of Gemini sort of feel is nevertheless there. Crow carries the soul from darkness into light, and it's as if I always tend to think of sometimes the Footprints poem, where the single set of footprints is when you were being carried. It wasn't just you; it was when you were being carried, you know. But nevertheless, it's very dark, isn't it? Because yes, the crow flies into the mist, and yes, we'll come out through it the other side, but you can't see the other side. One must go through a period of where the flames die down and become just embers, smouldering embers, as you would say, before you can put new fuel on. You have to let the old fuel burn out, because you wouldn't know it's burnt out until it does burn out. You can't, you know, otherwise it's just burning, isn't it, normally, fuel, and then it's only when it burns out that you know you've got to put new on. I got a feeling as though this relationship is between now and this time next month is destined for a very dark period, maybe ruin. It may be destined to ruin, although nevertheless the potential right now, the thing that you can cultivate, the potential for something big right now is there, regardless of the weakness of communication or the lack of it, or lack of communication. Not so much communication breakdown, but lack of communication. Well, you know, if only you were to say, I'd know. But and it's this sort of thing going on now, whereas it'll be a complete breakdown where it'll be smouldering embers, in the sense of Crow will enter into the darkness. Yes, will carry you out of that darkness into the light, but one must experience a dark period around about then, and that seems to be really what it's pointing toward. For now, I think it's best you work out what is best to be done here. Are we to focus on the potential harvest that is yet to come, or are we to tell ourselves that nothing is there because we can see nothing there now, so nothing will be there in the future? Nothing will only be there on a ploughed field if you don't sow the seed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the field has been ploughed, but the seed hasn't been sown, and it's up to you to choose whether to leave it a barren field or to see that field as a potential harvest time, of course, by putting some seed down. Are you prepared to do that and feed it and fertilise it and allow it to grow as the growth, as you see there with the Empress, as you're prepared to, with your own intuition, see that growth? Is that growth a reality, or merely a fantasy, or merely just an assumption? Remember, one must not assume. Is that growth merely an assumption that you basically assumed or surmised would be if you followed this path? By following your instincts, that sort of questions, are your instincts telling you the truth? Of course, it doesn't have to be like this. I'm sort of getting this. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be like this all the time here. But it will be if we carry on like this. And that's the choice that you have. That's the choice that Crow gives you. But for now, these cards have spoken.